Hi everybody, Andrew Ainsworth Golf Academy here, welcome. I haven't done a YouTube video for a while. I've been really busy teaching, fitting, so nice to be back chatting to you folks out there. Thanks for tuning in. This was something that cropped up this morning actually when I was giving somebody a lesson. We were talking about practice and how we practice, and he said, "Oh, I hate going to the range." He said, I said, "Why?" He said, "Oh, I hate range balls." And it got me thinking, I wonder what the difference is between range balls and how they perform and how they feel. So what I've got here, this is fairly unscientific, you know, well, yeah, it is. It's just a bit of a quick one. I've got three different range balls. I've got a cheap and nasty one-piece range ball here. I've got a decent Strixon two-piece range ball, and then I've got a good old Titleist Pro V1. And what I've done is I've hit the number of shots with my, what am I hitting? Ping S56 7-iron. And I've tried to get the numbers as close as I can. I'm sure you can appreciate, to try and get three identical swings, same launch conditions, same club speeds, can be tricky, but I've got pretty close to it. And I was intrigued to look at the numbers. So I hope you guys can see here what's been going on. If not, I'll talk you through. In the green here, I've got the Strixon range ball. Now we're going to look at the important data. We've got club speeds on each of these shots pretty much identical. So I've got a Strixon range ball, I've got a cheap rubbish range ball, I've got a Pro V1. What's interesting is the spin rates. With the Strixon range ball, I had a spin of 66.50. With the cheap rubbish range ball, I had a spin rate of 59.75. And with the Pro V1, I had a spin rate of 55.60. So relatively similar those. Carry distances, I had 149 with the Strixon two-piece. I had a 150 with the cheap rubbish ball, and I had a 152 carry with my Pro V1. So if you're looking at the numbers, then you could say it's pretty similar. What was very noticeable was the feel. Hitting this thing here, oops, dropped my club. This is the cheap nasty range ball. Okay, this thing felt like a brick. It really did feel really hard and sounded hard. The Strixon two-piece range ball, not bad at all, but hitting the nice Pro V1 obviously felt a bit softer. The noise was a little bit better. The thing to bear in mind as well is that as range balls get used and used, they go through the washing machine, and the washing machine's quite hard, and there's no doubt that the dimples patterns on the range balls wear out, and sometimes not that good to start with. So I know when I'm at the range, I sometimes hit a shot and I think that's quite a good shot, and the ball starts snaking around in the air. So are range balls good? I think it varies tremendously. You get good range balls like this one, and you get rubbish range balls like that one, which to be honest are hopeless, especially when you're trying to do some short game hitting pitch shots. But generally speaking, you know, any practice is good practice. I always tell my pupils to go and practice with a purpose. Don't just go to the range and smack, you know, 2 buckets of balls with no idea. Go there with some purpose, you know, start off with your wedges and work your way down to the longer clubs. If you've been having some lessons, hopefully your teaching pro is giving you something to work on in between lessons. Go and work on specific bits of the swing. You know, let's say you've been struggling with taking the club a little bit inside. You know, go through a little bit of a drill first before you hit the shots. Try and position the club and then hit the shot. So practice with a purpose. So there we go, range balls. They do vary, but any practice in my book is good practice as long as you know what you're doing. So interesting question, I thought. Not particularly scientific, not bad. Got a few numbers back there. So thanks for watching. Tune in again. I'll try and do some more videos as I start to slow down through the summer, but I appreciate your support and watching and all the kind comments below that you post. Fire away, any questions, any videos you want me to do, I'll try and do them for you. Thanks for watching, take care.